back students to standard 9th maths chapter 9 areas of parallelogram and triangles. We are into the second session now. In the previous session we learned, in fact we derived the formula to find area of triangle. What is area of any triangle? Half into base into altitude, corresponding altitude. Okay, and then we also derived the formula to find area of parallelogram. And what is the formula to find area of parallelogram? Yes, it is simply base into corresponding altitude. There is no half multiplied to this product of base and corresponding altitude. Okay, so here is one parallelogram. A, B, C, D. This is parallelogram A, B, C, D. Alright, choose any vertex. Let me choose D. Alright, now which are the opposite sides? AD and CD. These are the two sides whose common endpoint is D, the vertex point D. So opposite sides are AB and BC. So from D, let me draw perpendicular to AB. Let's say this is D1. D से ड्रॉप किया altitude. This is altitude corresponding to base AB. So area of quadrilateral या parallelogram ABCD is base, that is AB, into corresponding altitude, that is DD1. Alright children? Okay. Now from the same vertex D, you can draw altitude on the other opposite side, and that is BC. Yes, drop perpendicular. This perpendicular, let the foot of perpendicular be D2. So DD2 is the altitude corresponding to base BC. So once again, area of same parallelogram ABCD is equal to, this time the base is BC into altitude is DD2. Alright children. So from vertex D, you have drawn two altitudes. Similarly, you can draw two altitudes from vertex A. Okay, AB and AD are the two sides whose common endpoint is A. So AB and AD cannot be opposite sides. So CD and BC are considered as opposite sides to vertex A. So I am going to draw perpendicular to that. Well, I cannot draw perpendicular on line segment CD, but I can draw perpendicular on line CD. So I am extending this line CD, and then from here I can draw perpendicular. This is A1, that is altitude corresponding to base BC. Alright, so I get another formula. Area of parallelogram ABCD is equal to, yes, what is the base this time? CD into the corresponding altitude AA1. Alright, now children, you have dropped altitude from vertex A to opposite side CD, but there is one more opposite side, and that is BC. Yes, now you cannot draw perpendicular to BC and the foot of perpendicular is on line segment BC. So आपको BC को extend करना है. This is line BC, and now you can draw perpendicular to BC. This is perpendicular. I call it AA2. That is altitude corresponding to base BC. So now again another formula. Area of parallelogram ABCD. What is the formula? Base into corresponding altitude. So which base we have considered in this case? That is BC into, what is the altitude? AA2. Are you getting me, children? Alright. Now I am going to drop altitudes from B. I chose vertex D. I chose vertex A. Now I am choosing vertex B. So AB and BC cannot be the opposite sides. So obviously CD and AD are opposite sides. So from B, let me draw perpendicular to CD. Yes, the foot of perpendicular BB1. B1 is the foot of perpendicular. It is on the base CD. Alright. So again, you got another formula. Area of parallelogram ABCD is base. You have taken base CD. CD into corresponding altitude BB1. BB1. Okay, that was altitude dropped from B to opposite side CD. Now from same B, you can drop altitude to another opposite side AD. Yes, and the foot of perpendicular will be on line segment AD. Let me draw perpendicular. Perpendicular lagna bhi chahiye. Yes, this is perpendicular BB2. That is another altitude and corresponding to base AD. So we have another formula. We can find area of parallelogram ABCD. For any parallelogram, the formula to find area is base into corresponding altitude. Obviously, what is the base we have taken in this case? Sixth case? Yes, AD is the base into the altitude corresponding to that base is BB2. Alright, children. Alright. Now, one more point is left, and that is, yes, of course, C. Right? So CD and CB cannot be opposite side. So it has two opposite sides, AD and AB. Now from C, you cannot drop perpendicular to AB. But if you extend AB on line AB, you can have foot of perpendicular. Yes, from C, you draw perpendicular. That is the altitude. Let me say CC1. ये altitude corresponding to base AB. So base is AB into corresponding altitude is CC1. Alright. So that will be the area of parallelogram ABCD. One more we are going to get correct. Area of parallelogram ABCD is equal to, once again, I am going to drop perpendicular from C to corresponding opposite side, that is AD. अब AD के ऊपर तो drop नहीं होगा children, but you will have to extend AD, and from C you can draw perpendicular to that. यहाँ आगे बढ़ाते, this is C2. So that is CC2 is the corresponding altitude to base AD. Alright children. So from every vertex you can drop two altitudes to the opposite sides. Correct? So we got, yes, 8 formula. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now this is area of the same parallelogram. जो ग्रीन quadrilateral है ABCD, जो parallelogram उसी का एरिया है, but you can represent by 8 different ways. So what you can say children? Right hand sides are equal, so left hand sides are also equal. So by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and 8, it follows that. What children? AB into DD1 is equal to BC into DD2 is equal to CD into AA1 is equal to BC into AA2 is equal to CD into BB1 is equal to AD into BB2 is equal to AB into CC1 is equal to AD into CC2. So base into altitude 1 is equal to base into altitude 2 is equal to base into altitude 3 is equal to base into altitude 4 is equal to base into altitude 5 is equal to base into altitude 6 is equal to base into altitude 7 is equal to base into altitude 8. Children, once again I remind you, this is very important result for objective question. Alright? For triangle also we have seen the formula to find area of triangle is half into base into altitude. But very important result is base into altitude 1 is equal to base into altitude 2 is equal to base into altitude 3, because triangle has only 3 altitudes. Whereas for parallelogram, base into altitude 1, of course corresponding altitude, is equal to base into altitude 2 is equal to base into altitude 3 is equal to base into altitude 4 is equal to base into altitude 5 is equal to base into altitude 6 is equal to base into altitude 7 is equal to base into altitude 8. Yes, यहाँ 8 equal ratios है, triangle में 3 equal ratios है. That is very important result. Is that clear, children? Fine. Okay. Children, if you have learned after parallelogram, we learned rhombus. After rhombus, we learned about rectangle. Rectangle के बाद square और square के बाद trapezium, correct? और trapezium के बाद kite. All right? Types of convex quadrilateral. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. 6 types of convex quadrilateral we had seen. Do you remember, children? Okay. We learned how to find formula of area of parallelogram. Or we derived the formula to find area of parallelogram. Now we shall see rhombus. Let's see, children. Yes, all sides are equal. A rhombus is also known as parallelogram. So rhombus को आप parallelogram भी कह सकते हैं. All right, children. See what I do here. I'll draw its diagonals. AC and BD. Suppose they intersect at O. You know, they intersect each other at right angle. Okay, children? My aim is to establish the formula to find area of rhombus. Now, by drawing two diagonals, I have not drawn altitudes here. By drawing two diagonals, a rhombus is divided into 4 parts. Correct? Part 1, part 2, part 3 and part 4. So I can say area of rhombus ABCD is equal to area of part 1 plus area of part 2 plus area of part 3 plus area of part 4. Alright, children? Now if you look at part 1, children, it's a right triangle. So half into product of two sides forming right angle. So area of part 1, half into AO into BO. These are the two sides forming right angle. Same way, children, part 2, it's also a right triangle. It's also right triangle BOC. So half into the side forming right angle BO into another side forming right angle CO plus part 3, it's also a right triangle. So half into CO into DO. CO into DO plus, yes, the fourth one, it is also right triangle. Correct, children? So half into DO into AO. Correct, children? एक काम करते हैं, totally 1, 2, 3 and 4 terms are there. हम फर्स्ट टू टर्म कंसीडर करते हैं, उसमें हाफ कॉमन है और बीओ कॉमन है. सो आई एम टेकिंग हाफ टाइम्स बीओ कॉमन फ्रॉम फर्स्ट टू टर्म. सो व्हाट इज लेफ्ट? AO plus CO. In the same manner, from the next two terms, I take half common and anything else? Yes, DO. So plus half into DO is common. So what is left? CO plus AO. Now look in the figure. AO plus CO. This is AO and this is CO. So AO plus CO is what? AC. A dash O dash C. So AO plus CO is equal to AC. So I am going to put that. So half into BO into AC plus same way half into DO into again CO plus AO, that is AC, because A dash O dash C. A dash O dash C. So AO plus CO is AC. AO plus CO is AC. Now children, two terms. Four terms are converted into two terms, and in these two terms half and AC is common. So that is half into AC into bracket में what is left? BO plus DO. BO plus DO. Look in the figure. BO this part. DO this part. BO plus DO, that will be BD. So that is half into AC into BD, because B dash O dash D. Children, so that is the area of rhombus. Therefore, area of rhombus ABCD is equal to half into AC into BD. This is the formula to find area of rhombus. Children, once again, in the formula of area of rhombus, half is introduced. Half is there. Half into base into altitudinal. Half into AC. Children, that is diagonal. Into BD, that is second diagonal. So what is the area of rhombus? Half into diagonal 1 into diagonal 2. So half into product of two diagonals. That is area of rhombus. Is that clear, children? So now we have seen area of rhombus as well. Now we can see the area of rectangle, which is very easy. Children, what is this? Rhombus. Correct? All sides are equal. This is rhombus. What is the formula to find area of rhombus ABCD? Half into diagonal 1 AC into diagonal 2 BD. So this is first formula. There is second formula also. Area of rhombus ABCD is equal to. Children, here as I said, rhombus is also a parallelogram. तो ये parallelogram तो है ही. So from any vertex, if you draw perpendicular, so this DE is altitude and AB is base. So ये formula भी rhombus को लगेगी. Half into base, that is AB, into corresponding altitude, that is DE. So उसकी ये formula भी लगेगी. So when the diagonals are given, you can use the first formula. When altitude is given, you can use the second formula. Is that clear, children? Fine. Now let's see the third one, and that is rectangle. Very quickly I'll draw the figure. Here is a rectangle ABCD. Yes, all angles are right angle. Now I don't need to derive the formula, because we have already taken area of rectangle as the base, but थोड़ा justification करेंगे. Once again, a rectangle is also a parallelogram. Rectangle is also a parallelogram. So area of rectangle ABCD is equal to base in base into altitude, base into altitude. All right, children, area of पैरेललोग्राम में हाफ नहीं आएगा. यदि मैंने वहां आगे हाफ लिखा सेकंड फॉर्मूला में, एरिया ऑफ रोम्बस ABCD is just base into altitude. So यहां हाफ गलती से लिखा हो तो वो नहीं आएगा. ऑलराइट, चलिए. नाउ सी, यस, एरिया ऑफ रेक्टेंगल ऑल्सो वुड बी बेस इनटू अल्टीट्यूड. क्यों? क्योंकि रेक्टेंगल इज अ पैरेललोग्राम. अब किसी को भी बेस ले लो, सपोज AB को ले लिया, सो मल्टीप्लाइड बाय अल्टीट्यूड. ये परपेंडिकुलर है ही उसको, सो BC इज द अल्टीट्यूड. या आपने AB को बेस ले लिया तो AD भी अल्टीट्यूड है, उसको परपेंडिकुलर है, सो इनटू AD. चलिए, आपने AD को बेस ले लिया, you took AD as base, so उसको perpendicular CD है, so you can write CD as the corresponding altitude. Correct children? आपने या CD को बेस ले लिया तो उसको corresponding altitude ये है, perpendicular है, so you can write BC. तो आपने देखा कोई भी एक साइड multiplied by consecutive side, so product of two successive side, एक साइड को कहते हैं लेंथ, दूसरी साइड को कहते हैं ब्रेथ. So that is area of rectangle, length into breadth. Length is any side and breadth is its successive perpendicular side. Correct? So what is area of rectangle? Length into breadth. Is that clear, children? So now you got this also. Area of rectangle is length into breadth, or you can say product of any two successive sides. Alright? Now we'll see the square. Area of square. Okay, children, area of square. Let's see. Now you know square is a parallelogram, square is a rectangle, and square is a rhombus. तीनों है. Square is parallelogram, true. Square is rectangle, true. Square is rhombus, true. तो square की तो बहुत सारी फॉर्मूला हो जाएगी. This is square ABCD. All angles are right angle, all sides are equal, और ये diagonal है AC. So area of square ABCD is, पहले में ये rectangle ले लो, any side product of any two successive side, so AB into BC. But AB बोलो BC बोलो सब L ही है, because they are equal. So L into L, that is L square. So that is the first formula to find area of square. Square of its length, length into length, product of two successive sides. Second, alright, ये ले ले. Square is a parallelogram. So area of square ABCD is equal to, parallelogram में क्या है? Base into altitude. अब base AB है और altitude BC है. That is one and the same, L into L, and that is L square. Again you are getting the same formula. And the third one, children, square is a rhombus. So you can say area of square ABCD is equal to, वहां half आएगा, half into diagonal 1 AC into diagonal 2 BD. So that is the another formula, because a square is a rhombus, and rhombus की formula है half into the product of two diagonals. So for square also it is true. So we have three formula. ये तो ultimately same हो गई, right? And this is another formula, half into diagonal 1 into diagonal 2. Is that clear, children? Okay. Moving on to the next one, and that is number 5. Area of trapezium. Now, trapezium is very different from this 4. You cannot call trapezium a parallelogram because it's only one pair of opposite side is parallel. The other pair of opposite side is non-parallel. So, yeah, it will have different property compared to this. Okay. So, let's see or derive the formula to find area of trapezium. And the last one, kite. It is not in your पोर्शन। काइट के बारे में कुछ टेक्स्ट बुक में दिया नहीं है, सो आई विल नॉट बी डिस्कसिंग। इवन ट्रेपेजियम के बारे में नहीं दिया, बट इट्स वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट रिजल्ट। ओके, सो आई विल ड्रॉ अ ट्रेपेजियम फर्स्ट। So here is trapezium ABCD, in which AB is parallel to CD and BC and AD are non-parallel sides. Children, how will you find the area of this trapezium? So far, whatever you learned, from there you can conclude that if you want to find area of any closed figure, you will have to divide it into some parts. But those making of parts should be done smartly. So here I draw altitude from D, perpendicular from D. Let's say DE. That is altitude corresponding to base AB. Same way I am going to draw altitude from C to same base AB. Let's say this is CF. Children, so now the area of trapezium which we are supposed to find, area of trapezium ABCD is, yes, इसको part 1 बोलो, इसको part 2 बोलो और इसको part 3 बोलो. So that is area of part 1 plus area of part 2 plus area of part 3. Correct, children? Okay. Now, if you look at part 1, it's a right triangle. It's a right triangle ADE, and we know the formula, that is half, triangle में half आएगा, base AE into corresponding altitude DE. Correct? Plus. Now very interesting. This quadrilateral DFCD. Children, AB is parallel to CD. So you can say EF is parallel to CD. क्योंकि E and F are the points on line AB. Correct, children? So EF is parallel to CD. Now DE and CF, they are perpendicular to same side AB. So they are also parallel. So EF is parallel to CD and DF is parallel to CF. So both the pairs of opposite side for quadrilateral EFCD are parallel. So it's a parallelogram. And in that, yes, one of the angle is right angle. That's enough. So it's a rectangle. So quadrilateral EFCD is a rectangle. And what is the formula to find area of rectangle? Product of any two successive sides. Length multiplied by breadth. इसको length ले सकते, इसको breadth ले सकते, इसको length, इसको breadth, any two sides. So I am taking EF into CF. हो गया? And last but not the least, part 3. Once again, it's a right triangle. So half into base BF into altitude CF. Children, दो में से कोई भी एक ही altitude, क्योंकि this quadrilateral EFCD is a rectangle. So मतलब opposite side DE and CF will be equal. Opposite sides of rectangle, so they are equal. So either DE, okay, DE को मैं altitude बोल दूं, CF भी altitude है, लेकिन दो में से मुझे एक ही चूज करना है और दोनों एक ही इक्वल लेंथ के अल्टीट्यूड्स है. सो आई हैव चोजन DE. सो इसको रखेंगे, CF को नहीं रखेंगे, CF को नहीं रखेंगे. क्यों? क्योंकि CF is equal to DF. Sorry, CF is equal to DE. CF is equal to DE. So wherever I come across CF, I am going to put DE. Alright? So that is half into AE into DE is okay, plus EF into, instead of CF, I am going to write DE, plus instead of, okay, half into BF into, once again instead of CF, I am going to write DE. If you want to keep CF as altitude, तो आप जहां DE हो वहां CF लिख सकते हो. Anyway, now children, DE is common in all three terms. So take DE common and carefully write in the bracket, be careful, AE or नीचे 2, AE upon 2 plus only EF, नीचे कुछ नहीं है, so 1 plus BE upon BF upon 2. That is DE into. Now we will have to take LCM. इसका LCM 2, 1 और 2 का, that is 2. So 1s are 2s are 1s are 1 into AE plus 2 into EF. Very interesting. 2 times EF. But here, very interestingly, I am going to write, see, 2 into EF. That is 2 times EF. That you may say EF plus EF. That is 2F. And that is the idea I am going to use here. EF plus EF. I am not going to write 2 times EF. Very soon in the next step, you will come to know why we have done that. Plus BF. Plus BF. Now children, look at this. AE, it's here. EF, it's here. And BF, it's here. So AE plus EF plus BF. That is AB. Part 1 plus part 2 plus part 3. Line segment plus line segment plus line segment gives you bigger line segment AB. So AE plus EF plus BF. See children, I am continuing here. DE is here. Upon 2 भी मैंने लिख दिया और into ये ब्रैकेट में AE plus EF plus BF, that is AB plus एक EF बचा है और that is DE into okay upon half into AB plus children this EF जो EF बचा है that EF is equal to CD because opposite sides of rectangle, so I am writing CD. Alright children, this is the formula. I am writing half into altitude into AB plus CD. That is area of trapezium ABCD. Got it children? अब जरा उसको बराबर समझ के मेमोराइज करो. Half into altitude. That is perpendicular. That altitude is perpendicular distance between two parallel sides. जो भी parallel side है उसके बीच perpendicular distance same रहेगा because AB and CD are parallel sides. AB and CD are parallel sides. So half into altitude, which is actually perpendicular distance between the two parallel sides, into the total length of parallel side AB plus CD. AB plus CD, that is sum of side AB and side CD. Okay, so what is the area of trapezium then? Half into altitude into the sum of length of parallel sides. Is that clear children? Sure. Good. Alright children. See what we have learned so far. Rhombus. Sorry, first one is parallelogram. So area of parallelogram. Parallelogram. उसमें सिर्फ बेस इंटू अल्टीट्यूड वो फॉर्मूला आएगी. rhombus, area of rhombus, that is half into diagonal 1 into diagonal 2 और उसकी दूसरी फॉर्मूला भी है सेम वन, area of rhombus, because every rhombus is a parallelogram. So base into corresponding altitude. If diagonals are given, use the first formula. If base and altitude are given, use the second formula. Rectangle. Area of rectangle. You may say length into breadth. Any side multiplied by corresponding side. Area of square. First, area of square. The formula is length into length, L square. Second, area of square. That is side 1 into side 2. Any consecutive side. यहाँ भी ऐसे कह सकते हैं side 1 into side 2. Any product of any two consecutive side. And the third one, area of square. That is, उसमें half आएगा. Half into diagonal 1 into diagonal 2. Because every square is a rhombus. Alright? And यहां आपको altitude चाहिए ऐसे. Correct? So area of trapezium. Trapezium. That is, उसमें भी half आता है into altitude आता है into sum of parallel sides. Length of parallel sides. Did you get it children? Alright. Fine. So yes, derivation of few formula to find areas have been done, correct? In the next session, we shall see some sums based on this formula, alright? So that's all in this session. See you in the next session. Till then, goodbye. Have a nice day.